Horizon Chance, home reaction. This is Just Cause 2, Freedom, Interventionism, okay? I don't know what that word is. And Chaos. That's the main thing, Chaos. I love Just Cause 2, Just Cause 3, Just Cause 4 is fine. I never played Just Cause 1, but I do remember playing Just Cause 2 when it came out, right? I mean, in 2010. Oh yeah, it's 2010. It says it here. Yeah. So I played Just Cause 2 in 2010 when it came out, and holy shit, how good that game was. It had fucking everything that you want to have fun with and just chill out. Lots of games make you think, right? Lots of games are immersive and makes you think and just, you know, you need to put your all into it. It's fun, but you have to put your attention to it. Just Cause is one of those games where it's just like chill. It's like racing, like Need for Speed or something, where you can just chill without thinking too much, right? That you can play it in windowed mode while, you know, you're doing something else in the other browser. Hey, look at that. Let's just blow some shit up. But, you know, overall, I remember this game was so good. Look at this scene. Look at this scene. The sun and everything. For the game, for the time it was, I'm not saying the graphics were really good, right? It wasn't like, you know, Crytek or something, but something like this sun coming up from the mountains like that. I remember some part had some cities in it. The game map was ridiculously big, like holy shit was that big, and certain part of them were skyscraper cities, and it just felt really awesome. Like overall game, it's not dominated by cities, it's just mountains and shit. But there are cities in it, and when you go into those cities, the skyscrapers, you do things, blow shit up, it just feels so awesome. And the way game starts, and I remember there was no fast travel, like you had to go everywhere, like what the fuck. I know there is something you unlock later on that is like fast travel, but it's very later on, like at the earlier times you don't have access to it. You have to go everywhere, right? So Just Cause 2 was just awesome. 3 was with the same, but it just amped up, right? Just Cause 3 is, you know, sound effects, the visual was just too ridiculous, right? The explosion effect and everything. But yeah, it started with this Just Cause 2. This is my first Just Cause experience. So yeah, let's see what Martin says about this.
Just Cause 2 is a very serious game about American foreign policy. It features great American ideals such as freedom, liberation, interventionism, and the unlimited power of the CIA. You play as Rico Rodriguez, a Spider-Man wannabe with a deep hatred of public infrastructure and the color red. The game is set on the lovely island nation of 𝒏𝒏𝒊𝒔𝒎 and is filled to the brim with red infrastructure. On the lovely island nation of 𝒏𝒏𝒊𝒔𝒎.
Oh, there you go, right? To me, this game kind of holds a special place in mind because the another game, White Gold, Zenus 2 White Gold, which is not like this, but it kind of feels similar in a way how map is, right? The chain of islands with small islands here and there, same thing was with the White Gold. This island right here has this weird technology that gives it Bermuda Triangle feeling to it. Same thing is with the Zenus 2 White Gold, where you go to an island and as soon as you come across the island, everything just goes crazy, right? Sun tries to, you know, go round and round. So this is why I remember this, because both games I played it at the same time. And I have special place in my heart just because of that. Both games is kind of, you know, tied together for me.
And is filled to the brim with red infrastructure and various government-built objects. Rico, being a supreme individual, doesn't believe in public goods or the state, and as such they must be destroyed. To do this, Rico will use lots of weapons, vehicles, explosives, and various other creative means of destruction.
Don't want to pause too much, but that fact that you just destroy everything. How the fuck are you a good guy when you literally destroy everything from the country, right? So to counter that, they realize that in Just Cause 3, you know, the certain key people tell you in the missions, like, in order to rebuild, we must destroy first. Like, okay, I guess that makes sense. Why not? Let's just go.
Accompanying him on his infrastructure crusade are the 3 different factions and the agency, each with distinctive colors, vehicles, ideology, and glorious leaders, which I will discuss in great detail later.
Oh, yeah.
My name is 𝒏𝒏𝒊𝒔𝒎.
The objective of the game is to depose the optimally sized dictator of Pandak Panay by causing as much chaos as possible. The reason given is vague and uninteresting. especially when there are many, many red objects to destroy.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
To get around, Rico has a convenient and comfortable method of travel, his grappling hook, which gently sends him careening into the surface it attaches to. The grappling hook also serves as a great way of negating all fall damage somehow.
Yeah.
As we all know, when you're falling towards
Yes.
the ground, pulling yourself towards it faster is the safest way to land. The grappling hook is accompanied by a parachute.
I found that out when I was suddenly falling. I don't remember what exactly happened, but I panicked. Like, okay, I didn't even start the parachute. I was panicking. Somehow I just grappled hook to it, like, fuck it. And we're like, look at that, you can save yourself from that.
When used together, they form a truly great combo. The grappler can be used as a weapon by pulling enemies around and off of tall ledges, straight up spanking them, tethering enemies to any surface, and various other means of creative expression. The weapons in the game range from generic assault rifles, pistols, and grenades, to triggered explosives, grenade launchers, miniguns, a quad rocket launcher, the air propulsion gun, and best of all, the Happy Bubble Blaster.
What is this? I don't remember this.
The weapons
pew,
have
pew.
some weird design quirks, like some pretty aggressive auto-aim and one-shot headshots for all guns. Weapons can also be upgraded to perform better, with some weapons becoming extremely powerful. Single-handed weapons can be dual-wielded for extra firepower and action movie vibes.
Yeah.
All of these are great tools for blowing stuff up without vehicles. Speaking of which, the vehicles. Just Cause 2 has quite a large arsenal of vehicles, from everyday sedans to motorcycles, sports cars, buses, tractors, trucks, APCs, tanks, helicopters, passenger planes, attack jets, monster trucks,
Yeah, both.
a hovercraft, a hot air balloon, and even a tuk-tuk with a tank cannon mounted to it. Vehicles in Just Cause 2 are optimized to be as action movie as possible. Like whenever you bail out of a car, it will explode, even if it just grazes against something. Or if a helicopter you're flying explodes, it doesn't kill you until it hits the ground, giving you time to bail out. These features are small, but really add to the game's very high seriousness. Cars handle like military-grade butter has been applied to each wheel, making turning at high speed probably a bad idea.
This is a
The
perfect
buses
clip for
handle
that.
surprisingly well, and the butter tires make them pretty fun to drift around after you wait the necessary 13 years of accelerating. Helicopters are surprisingly easy to fly, mainly because they can't pitch down very far, making dying in a helicopter crash much more difficult. Planes are a bit weird, because the larger ones really, really don't want to go upside down. I don't know why, but they're limited to a pretty small amount of roll, which makes turning a very
Alright, seriously. So, they didn't care about the grappling hook thing. Like, okay, this is pretty fucking, immersion breaking. That you can grappling hook to the ground and you won't die. But they're like, gigantic cargo plane. That turning 180 degrees, that's just too much. I mean, in real world, propulsion and everything would basically break away because it's so heavy. But in this we can't have physics like that, so let's just limit it. Yeah, you care about realism here, but grappling hook is fine.
very painful experience in the larger passenger aircraft. This is pretty inconvenient when there are any obstacles in the way, as the large turning circle makes it very hard to dodge things, especially when the obstacle is unexpected. If you want
maximum mayhem,
then look no further than the various attack jets of the game. Each of the jets boasts powerful weapons and such a high speed that you can run away from basically anything. The best is definitely the G9 Eclipse, which for some reason has 4 high explosive autocannons. These are the same cannons that are mounted to the tanks in the game, but while the tanks shoot this fast, the G9 shoots this fast. These cannons will basically vaporize anything you point them at. So what would you want to point them at? Well, anything painted in a convenient angry red is probably able to be destroyed. These red objects are located on the over 300 different settlements across the 1,000 square kilometer map. Each of these settlements has red objects, some boxes, various other non-destructible objects, and acceptable collateral damage. Each settlement has a certain number of objects inside. Destroying
infrastructure,
and collecting all the boxes in a settlement will complete it, meaning that it has a green tick and not much else.
very rewarding.
These settlements and objects add to completion, a nice little feature unlocked after finishing the game that will consume your soul as you try to get it to 100%. The furthest I've been with completing this game is a little over 85% after getting this achievement. This involves completing over
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was never a completion guy ever. To me, something has to be there to drive me, like story still left. So maybe if I complete this, I can get money and, you know, buy better equipment so I can play the game more. To me, when the story ends, it's like, you know, the timeline ended. Anything you do more doesn't matter, right? So I never do the completion things. Like, yeah, there's nothing driving me right now.
Over 200 bases, which do actually get repetitive after a while. Seriously, I do not recommend going for high completion. It's a complete waste of energy. To help with this great task, Rico has a lot of connections and can make the appropriate calls when he needs a delivery. The delivery system is a good way of getting weapons and certain vehicles that don't appear anywhere else on the map. Remember the factions I mentioned? These factions give missions ranging from boring pickup and drop-off missions to car chases, destroying big things, going to a spooky island,
Yeah, this
blowing
one I'm
up
talking
rockets
about.
that are mid-launch, and stronghold takeovers. Stronghold takeovers are used to spread faction influence and advance the story, but are pretty boring, with each being almost identical. Go to the faction's base, get transported to the facility, get your dudes, listen to the beautiful dialogue,
Assault the next blockade, comrades!
shoot some dudes, jump over a shitty little gate, and shoot more dudes, get to the park where your dudes, pick up the minigun and shoot a few more dudes, shoot the base commander, fin. These missions are unintentionally hilarious because each one of them uses the same voice actor, and he...
Alright. I know I never thought of it that way. You know, I'm the kind of person who sees something like that when something's repetitive, like, oh, what the fuck, right? But I never saw that with any Just Cause games because there are so many different ways you can destroy things and kill people, right? So even if the objectives are repetitive, like, of course, yeah, you go there, hack, and take over the base. I mean, what complication can there be? It also is kind of realistic, like, what other objectives? You just take over the base, right? You're just taking over things. So to me, it didn't feel that weird, right? Okay, everything's just... But all the different way you can destroy things and kill things is just ridiculous. It will always, you know, give enjoyment, let's just say. It's always fun to do things.
He is really, really bad.
Today, we fight with handguns. Tomorrow, we can fight with cruise missiles.
A little while after completing a stronghold takeover, a radio message will broadcast from 𝔬ℝ𝒼𝒆𝒏𝒕𝒊𝒐𝒏𝒊𝒔𝒎, the voice of truth,
So listen to it.
saying some convenient made-up excuse about why there were loud noises around the base.
There was no gunfire, he claims. It was only some engines backfiring. Our glorious leader has proclaimed next Tuesday Happy Execution Day.
The other missions in the game get quite good. You can tell if the mission is a good one because it will have a reward of 7,500 chaos points instead of 5,000. These missions tend to be longer and better made, with some actually being really fun, like blowing up some satellites on launching rockets. The game suffers from quite a number of glitches, many hilarious and others just strange. Rico takes very little fall damage if he opens his parachute before hitting the ground, making for some truly beautiful moments. Very nice. Civilians will sometimes go into this crouched stance when they are scared. Don't let this fool you. It's actually their escape mechanism. If you give them a tiny nudge, they shoot themselves upwards like a frog.
What? I didn't know that.
Sometimes when driving around the city areas, the game just goes kind of stretching
Oh.
out the buildings and other assets. This one piece of dialogue repeats every single time I start the game.
Okay, you get to know the factions real good, Rico.
Every single time.
Oh god.
Look at him roast, Rico. Dripping with delicious fat.
Remember when I said that I completed 85% of the game? Well, this took around 40 hours. There are 369 settlements in the game and 3,000 collectibles. If you use an external tool, you can see just how many items there are to collect and destroy. The destructible items range from small antennae to large spherical fuel tanks, statues, and other fun stuff. The collectibles help in a pretty small way, but build up as you continue to play the game. Armor parts give a very small amount of health for every 5 you collect.
People really misunderstand an open world game, right? Open world games are awesome and now becoming real big thing is because you have options. Options means you have to do some of them to feel it realistic. Like I did something that somebody else might not do and they might play game differently, so it's different. It's not a linear game that everybody's gonna play the same way. No, it's an open world. I do these things, other person might do these things, and this is a unique experience for me. If you do fucking everything, that's just weird. So I don't, completion thing never made sense to me. Like, why would I complete fucking everything? This is a big ass map. That's the whole point of it. You do what you want, play the game the way you want, and game is over, move on.
Weapon and vehicle parts are used to upgrade items in the black market, and cash drops give you 2,500 bucks. There are also 300 faction items littered around the map, 100 for each faction. 𝔽ℝ𝒼𝒼𝒻𝒆𝒏𝒕𝒊𝒐𝒏𝒊𝒔𝒎 boys have skulls that are usually in high places like mountains or high up in the desert.
Here he comes.
Roaches have drug drops that are very common in the cities and around bridges. And the Reapers have black boxes that can only be found in the water. Each settlement in the game has a certain number of things to collect and destroy, which contributes to the individual settlement's completion. However, there are plenty of objects in the game that are not inside a settlement and are thus much harder to track down. For instance, mobile radars. I didn't even know that these existed for at least the first 30 hours of playing. They only seem to appear in coastal areas and are very small. There are also wind turbines, which can be found in settlements but mostly appear outside. They're also fun to stick things to and watch people fly around. Pipelines also rarely appear in settlements and can be found by looking around for pipes leading off into the distance.
Salva mia.
Just Cause 2 features a
Very deep,
and
intricately detailed.
story about
What?
lies, deception, and lots of subtleties. Rico and his handler Kane fly into to look for his former handler Tom Sheldon, who they suspect has gone rogue and stolen agency money. They get shot at a bit, and some memory cards fall out of the helicopter. After collecting the memory cards, Kane goes,
That's how you collect.
Blaine, their last known contact on and they try to go find him at his home. Instead, they find Jade Tan, Carl's girlfriend? I don't know. Who says,
Carl has no friends.
they go to this casino to find Carl because he's a gambling
remember
degenerate, and Rico takes him back to his house with a nice afternoon drive. Rico threatens Carl, so Carl is all like,
Relax, buddy. We'll
and points him to the 3 criminal factions and introduces him to a black market dealer. Carl does this by downloading the intel onto Rico's PDA. Little does Rico know, Carl is an elite hacker and has also downloaded a tracking device. Rico goes to the criminal factions to meet their leaders. The Roaches are Panau's urban mob. Their leader is Razak Razma, who has freakishly long arms and is not a man one would want to leave around unattended children. The 𝔽ℝ𝒼𝒼𝒼𝒆🏞 boys are a group of eco-terrorists led by this guy who calls Rico Sardadu a whole lot. Finally,
The revolutionary army known as the Reapers.
a bunch of led by truly the greatest faction. Bolo was voiced
Alright. What I love about Seth, Martin, all these channels is that every time they make joke, right? You can feel it like this is their mentality. This is how they think every time they watch something. This is the goes through their head, right? We all have that moment where we see something and just see the fun side of it, funny side of it, the sarcastic way and anything. So this is just their mentality that we're looking at. Like, this is what Martin thinks and sees every time he plays game like this. This is ridiculous.
by possibly
Long arm. The snatches the baby away.
the greatest voice actor in history.
That is wonderful, my sweet, sweet comrade.
Rico does some favors in return for information on an American. After causing a good amount of chaos, the faction leaders gain intel for Rico.
You've got mail.
So Rico goes to the desert to look for this dude called Ken Pang, who is also a gambling degenerate, and he leads you to the White Tiger. Then Rico gets fucking blowgun. He wakes up and turns out he is Tom Sheldon. Thrilling stuff. Then Sheldon cooks a pig and says,
Dripping with delicious fat.
then military dudes come along and
Die.
and Sheldon's all like,
I have to go deep undercover lest I be killed.
then he accuses Carl of being a rat and this cutscene plays. Brilliance. Sheldon wants Rico to keep causing chaos for some reason, so after causing a lot more chaos he meets back up with Sheldon and he says that the random girl from the beginning of the game, what was her name? Ah yeah, Jade Tan is being held hostage in the Snow Fortress. Rico then has to blow up some things and arrives at the entrance to the base where he fights ninjas. Yeah, cool. Rico f***ing the ninjas and chases Jade out while they're fleeing.
Ninja's like, we have sword, we have, you know, throwing stars and everything. And our protagonist is like, you do realize I have a machine gun, minigun, not even machine gun. You do realize I have a minigun, right? I can literally, you know, use the tether to throw the fucking car at you.
Fleeing in some vehicles. Then, a 500-meter long nuclear submarine pops out of the lake, which is the most obvious place to store nuclear submarines. The sub fires a few missiles, but they're painfully shit and do nothing. Rico gets Jade to safety aboard Sheldon's helicopter. Then they chill out on a boat, and Jade is all like, look at these bad
International.
dudes, while Sheldon cooks another pig.
Barbecued pig, anyone?
After causing considerable chaos, Rico finds out that these international dudes are chilling out in the Three Kings Hotel. He goes over there with Sheldon with the intent to murder. This Chinese general guy is first, and he likes explosives. Very exciting.
Alright, one thing just I realized that this game is from 2010 and Fast and Furious 5 was from like 2012 or something. So that scene where they, you know, tether entire safe and run it through the fucking whole city, you know, you can do that shit in Just Cause 2 and lots of people do that. I remember doing that too, like tethering something like some heavy thing to the car and just running around. So like, you know, Fast and Furious, oh look at that scene is great. Yeah, people are going to do that in Just Cause 2. And another Fast, I think it was Fast and Furious 6 or 7, where they go to the ice area and there's something just pops out like a, you know, submarine or something. That same shit happens in Just Cause 2 as well.
Exciting. Rico kills him. The Russian dude is next, and his thing is that he has a tank. Also, it's surrounded by these claymores that kill you instantly. Awesome. The Japanese dude has this satellite system that fires rockets at you, and it also kills you instantly.
Oh my god.
After Rico f***ing murders these dudes, he extracts no information, and nothing of value is gained. After Rico goes out and causes even more chaos, he finds where the dictator dude is hiding, and has to choose a faction to help kill him. Naturally, you gotta choose Bolo. Then Rico finds this big f***ing stonehead thing and opens up its mouth to go inside a dome. Inside he finds Panay, who tells Rico that the reason that so many
International dudes.
are here is because there is a huge reserve of oil. Then f***ing Carl appears out of nowhere and... Wait, no, Carl, no, don't do it! Carl! Very good. Rico kills a bunch more dudes and makes it out of the dome.
Rico's like, Carl, I was gonna do that anyway. Why'd you kill yourself? I was gonna drop the entire ceiling on him anyway.
Where he and old Sheldo talk about oil. Now that Panay's dead, Rico goes to secure the oil field for US interests, and the big-ass atomic sub surfaces again. Rico goes inside the sub, and, plot twist, Panay is still alive. Rico fucking domes him like 40 times and he still doesn't die, so he launches his nuclear missiles. Then his clothes get caught or something and he gets pulled up with the missiles. Naturally, Rico follows. Then Rico and destroys the missiles in midair while the dictator is shooting at him. Finally, he gets to the last missile, stuffs Panay into the hatch and sends it into the oil. And that's it. Just Cause 2. Truly a masterpiece.
Got that right. Here's to a brighter tomorrow. Cheers, everyone.
To a brighter tomorrow.
Salud.
So I didn't really plan out an end to this video. So watch my Civ 5 video. Get subscribing to hear this love.
Yeah, this is literally one of the earliest review style videos he made, and look how epic it was. Yeah. So even this is awesome. In Just Cause 2's end, he rides the rockets, and I'm pretty sure I remember in Just Cause 3 start, I think we ride a plane or rockets or something like that, right? Well, shit happens. Well, there's a, you know, something is happening, right? Revolution or something like that is happening. That was fucking incredible. Just Cause 3 was a Just Cause 3. I don't know. I'm on drugs right now. Just Cause 3 was the best game, obviously, but Just Cause 2 was just something it had. Then the X factor that I can describe, that just, it was really good, right? Obviously, Just Cause 3 was the best one because it had better everything. Mechanics, sound, graphics, the things you can do, how it looked, right? I remember playing it the first time on PlayStation 4. Fucking realized that it lags like shit. And then I played it on PC, right? And the game was so fucking good. I remember there was a special weapon that you just point to something, right? Laser comes out, it targets it, then a plane comes and drops the bombs. I remember doing that very close range because that game is so big. You do things at the larger scales, right? You point towards something that is way too far away. The game is made like even the camera pointer is so far away from our guy, right? Even in Just Cause 2, that we don't realize the scale. But when you really think about it and you just point something really closer, the bombs drop. I remember hearing it on my 5.1 system. The bass and the sound effect, the explosion was just fucking ridiculous. No game has that kind of a sound effect. Just Cause 3 is that explosion. I still remember it right now. So the game was incredible, and Just Cause 2 was awesome too. He didn't do Just Cause 3, did he, Martin? If he did, I'd definitely have to see that one. Alright people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the reaction I did this link in the description, check out the cards, check out the cards, and yeah, I'll see you next time.